Hello, I'm going to tell you how to measure cell length using a microscope. So you need an eyepiece graticule and a stage micrometer. An eyepiece graticule is a little ruler or a little scale that is placed into the eyepiece of the actual microscope, and then it is used to measure the length of a cell that you can see down the microscope. So the first thing that you have to do is you've got this little ruler inside the eyepiece and you have to work out what one eyepiece unit is worth. So this is what we call calibrating the eyepiece graticule. So it's working out what one eyepiece is worth. So the first thing that you do is onto the stage you put the stage micrometer. Now the stage micrometer is a slide which has a scale on it as well, and you know exactly the distance between the marks on the stage micrometer. So if we look on the stage, you would have a stage micrometer, and between each of these two lines here it would be 0.1 millimeter in my example. So we know that that's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. We know that between here and here we definitely have 0.4 millimeters. So you then put your eyepiece graticule into the eyepiece and you line it up with the stage micrometer. So this is what is sitting on the stage and this is what is in the eyepiece. And you can see here we have lots of eyepiece units. So we have 40 eyepiece units and they fit into 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 millimeters. So that means 40 eyepiece units are the equivalent of 0.5 millimeters in real life. So I want to know what one eyepiece unit is. So that would be 0.5 millimeters divided by 40, because the 40 or 0.5, one eyepiece unit will be 0.5 divided by 40, which is 0.0125 millimeters. Now in microscopy it is unusual to use millimeters, we usually use micrometers, so to change that into micrometers we multiply it by 1000 and that comes out at 12.5 micrometers. So what do you do next? You take the stage micrometer off the stage and you put your slide on the stage that has the cells and you measure the length of the cell using the eyepiece graticule and you measure it in eyepiece units. So for example, you might look down the microscope and you see that your cell is 15 eyepiece units long. So then what length is that in real life? So you know that one eyepiece unit is 12.5 micrometers and you've got 15 of them. So to work out the actual length of that cell in real life, it would be 15 times 12.5 micrometers, because every eyepiece unit is worth 12.5 micrometers, and that would come out at 187.5 micrometers. Now, in questions, they like to ask, whenever you're calibrating the eyepiece, how do you know which scale is which? How do you know which is the eyepiece graticule and which is the stage micrometer? There are two answers to that question. The first one is change the focus. And whenever you change the focus, the stage micrometer scale, it will come in and out of focus, but the eyepiece graticule scale, it stays the same. The other answer to that question is rotate the eyepiece. And when you rotate the eyepiece, obviously the eyepiece graticule moves, but the stage micrometer scale does not move. And that is how you know which scale is which. There is just one last thing I want to mention. Remember that the eyepiece graticule will need to be recalibrated every time you change the power of the objective lens, because an eyepiece unit will have a different value at medium power than it will have at low power or at high power. Make sure you know this practical. Now, make sure as well you now open up your past paper questions and look at all the eyepiece graticule questions and their mark schemes and make sure that you can answer them.